welcome you to episode 3 of the Abundant Health Podcast. I'm really glad you're joining me today, and I hope you'll come back again. In my weekly podcast, I tell stories, share strategies, and practical information about creating abundant health. My focus is threefold: body, mind, and spirit, because I believe abundant health needs all three of these areas to be working together. They're like a three-legged stool, and if any one of the three legs isn't there, or it's not long enough, right? Your stool is going to tip over, and I don't want to see that happen. I'm bringing over 35 years of experience in health and wellness to my podcast series. My experiences and the things I've learned along the way will benefit you, so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Today's topic is body resonance, because I'm experiencing a strong, resonant, harmonic vibration within the bodies, hearts, and minds of the Qigong students that I work with and others with whom I'm meditating and providing spiritual direction to, and even within my own self. Now, this vibration isn't a bad frequency, it's just too strong. It's gotten out of balance, and what's needed is for us to recalibrate and bring things back into harmony with all of the other frequencies and energies that vibrate in and around us. So those of you listening to my podcast who aren't familiar with Qigong or energy work, you may be thinking right now, what in the world is she talking about? So before I go on, I want to translate my comments for you in lay terms. So I'm going to lay a little bit of groundwork. Most of us understand, or we certainly intuit, that the nature of physical existence is rooted in the realm of energy. Einstein's equation E equals mc squared gave science the math with which to understand this, but the ancient Qigong masters knew this long ago. I have an upcoming podcast that's going to unpack this a little bit more deeply, but for now, we just simply need to understand that the nature of our physical realm is energetic at its core. And I opened up my very first book, which is entitled Jesus and the Secret, where the Word of God and the Law of Attraction intersect, with a discussion about the root nature of our physical reality, which I said in that book and still believe is energy. And emotions carry a variety of energetic frequencies. Think about it this way: the word emotion could even be seen as energy in motion. So even in the word, you're hearing that there is energy involved with it. And some of us are so sensitive to energy in motion or emotion that we don't even have to know what another person's dominant emotion is in order for us, just out of the blue, to begin experiencing it. Now, some of our ability to catch it, granted, is nonverbal, from physical cues, subtle movements, micro expressions, those kinds of visible indications. But we need to not underestimate how much ability these energies in motion have to influence us on a vibrational level because of the energy. So all of us are influenced by these energetic frequencies that are created by a wide variety of emotions at any time. And energies like this move through the environment the same way radio and Wi-Fi signals and light and sound waves do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to sidetrack here just a minute because this is fascinating to think about. The wavelengths for Wi-Fi, radio, sound, and light, these wavelengths are imperceptible in the environment until there is an interpreting technology present to interpret them, right? So a sound wave is interpreted by the auditory, I won't even say ears because it's interpreted in other ways in some living beings, but the auditory mechanisms of the living beings. So for humans, it's ears. Mammals, it's ears. Butterflies, for grasshoppers, it's the knees, okay? So it's not always ears, but there's got to be some type of technology present in order for there to actually be a sound because before that it's just a wavelength, it's just a frequency. So it's the same way with light waves. Light waves are in our environment almost all the time. Well, they are all the time. Even I was reading in one of the science blogs that I was checking out last week, that even in dark matter, there is all kinds of light because of the neutrinos that are present. And so there's light waves and light frequencies everywhere. But light isn't seen until there's an ocular mechanism of a living being that can interpret it, the technology to interpret the light waves into light. And of course, we know some living beings have the ability to interpret a much wider bandwidth of light waves in order to see vibrations that others cannot. And it's the same way with color, completely in the brain. That vibrational frequency happens inside the brain. Color isn't intrinsic out there in the environment, just the vibrational frequency is out there. The color actually happens in our brain. And we can even create that vibrational frequency completely within our brains. If there isn't anything that's that color in the environment, we can close the eyes and try it now. Close your eyes and think about the color red. And maybe you're able to see the color red, right, with your eyes closed. Not everybody can. Some people are better at doing it than others. I've had some Qigong students who have told me they have a really hard time seeing a color in their mind. And I work a lot with color frequencies, so I keep a kaleidoscope handy with a set of marbles. And the marbles pop into the device, and then they can tune it in and turn the marble and find the color that I'm asking them to imagine, and then they can actually see it, so they can manifest that frequency in their brain. So in the beginning of the podcast, I made a reference to strong resonant harmonic vibration that's out of balance. So let me also set the stage for what I mean by resonant. I spent a lot of years living in Southern California, where there are a lot of earthquakes. I miss a lot of things about California. The earthquakes, I don't miss. So when there's a particularly strong earthquake, there's a harmonic frequency that's resonating in the earth. The earth is vibrating at the same frequency of other things on the surface of the earth. Mostly I'm talking about buildings. So each building has its natural frequency. And when the earthquake sets up a resonant harmonic frequency, then eventually after the frequency is amplified over a certain amount of time, and sometimes it can happen very quickly, the building is destroyed. The building collapses. And so building resonance is something the engineers in Southern California and other places where there are lots of earthquakes need to know about. So let me go all the way back to my opening remarks and say what I said in the very beginning. I'm experiencing a strong, resonant, harmonic vibration within myself and others with whom I'm working on an energetic level. And as I said, this vibration isn't a bad frequency, it's just too strong. It's gotten out of balance. And what we need to do is recalibrate this energy, bring it back into harmony with all of the other frequencies that vibrate within us and around us. And I'm speaking specifically of the energy of fear. And I said, I don't think this is a bad frequency. I believe that. There are times when the fear of something can be healthy and can actually save our lives. I don't think I need to explain that, right? You get it. Specifically right now, there's an imbalance and there's an amplification of fear happening in a lot of our lives, and it's understandable. The events of the recent months, weeks, and even days has perpetuated a strong current of fear within our social structures on a global scale. And part of this is because of our heightened capacity to consume news and to receive updates moment by moment with social media. So my purpose in addressing this in today's podcast is to convince you, that's what I want to do, convince you that it's not going to be good for both our social structures or our body's structures to experience this heightened state of fear on a constant basis. There will be a moment when the resonance is amplified too much in the body, and we'll call it body resonance, and damage can occur within the body. So medical science explains how interconnected and linked our neurological system and our endocrine system are, meaning that our feelings and emotions trigger floods of signaling neurotransmitters in the form of hormones and other chemicals which direct cellular communication in the body. And again, the ancient Qigong masters were aware of this thousands of years ago. They were already teaching it. Fear is an emotion or an energy in motion which can build up and get you to the point of body resonance within the kidneys specifically. And I go even deeper in my Qigong healing practice to take into consideration 5-element theory when creating health in the body system. And there are different therapies to harmonize this buildup of harmonic resonance in the body, or body resonance, using sound, color, the senses, positive emotions, and foods that balance the energy with their countering frequencies. So when I'm working with a Qigong healing client, I have a wide range of Qigong prescriptions to use. And so there's a lot of work to do to stimulate healing. And that's not my purpose to go into this extensively. However, I would like to give you one Qigong prescription today that will help give your body breaks from this constant resonance from the impact of the state greater fear is having on all of us right now. We need to give our bodies a break so that the amplitude or the building up of this harmonic resonance can stop and be paused, okay? So the practice is called ocean breathing. So just even saying it or thinking, oh, ocean breathing, makes you already relax and bring a shift. So here's how it works. You can do ocean breathing standing up, seated, or lying down. Doesn't matter. But if you're standing up, put your weight right in the center. So shift from side to side with your feet about hip width apart, and shift from front to back, and then come to the center where you feel that spot where your weight is perfectly balanced. Your head is directly above the middle of your lower abdomen. Now, if you're seated, be sure both of your feet are on the floor and your back is straight. And if you're lying down, go ahead and be sure that your whole body is supported comfortably so you can relax your muscles. So in this position, whichever position you chose, hold your hands in front of your lower abdomen, like you're holding a volleyball or a soccer ball, a football for my non-USA listeners. Your elbows and your shoulders are relaxed at your side, and your hands are activated by slightly opening your fingers and stretching them, just slightly, but keep your thumbs relaxed. They shouldn't be sticking up in the air. They should be rounded around the imaginary ball you're holding. And you're going to be breathing in and out of your nose while your tongue is pressed up against the upper palate. The tip of your tongue will be resting just behind your front teeth. And now in this position, drop your chin just a little and pull your head back a tiny bit. Relax here right now and just breathe, slowing your breath down and breathing more deeply than you normally do. Oh, so nice. You can't see me, but I'm standing doing the practice with you. So great. Now, the next time you inhale, have the sensation that the ball between your palms is beginning to grow larger, and follow that expansion with your hands. Now allow your elbows to also move away from your sides, but in response to the ball growing, not because you're opening your hands wider. And at the top of your inhalation, feel the ball stop expanding. Prepare to follow a contraction of the ball as you exhale. Your wrists will open as your hands move to follow the ball. Then your arms and elbows will follow the contraction and move back towards your sides. Repeat the breath in, following the expansion of the ball between your hands. And allow yourself to begin a light smile. Repeat the breath out, following the contraction of the ball. Continue to smile. Again, inhale, feel the ball expanding. Taking this nice, slow, deep breath. And exhale. Very good. Again, inhale. Feel yourself connected to the rhythm of nature, the ebb and flow of the ocean tides, the rising and falling of the seasons. Exhale, follow the contraction. Daytime and nighttime. Feel yourself plugged into this natural rhythm. You're completely at peace, resting and breathing as your body regulates and releases excessive energies that have been building up. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. The situations around us haven't changed. They're still there. But you're giving your body a chance to release the energetic build-up from these energies. That's it. You can stop right here and just breathe naturally. You have harmonized the energy so your body has a chance to reset, recharge, heal during this time when you're breathing this way and you're tuning in to the natural rhythms all around you. So I recommend that you give yourself time each day, at least once in the morning and once before you go to bed, to practice ocean breathing. It can be helpful to take 5 or 6 breaths this way, and that's really all you would have time to do or the inclination to do. But if you want to experience an even more profound shift, spend 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening doing this exercise. Just set your timer on your phone to a nice chime, so at the end of 10 minutes, you know you're done. This can be really beneficial for your body, your mind, and your spirit right now especially. So thanks for practicing with me. I'm really happy to have been able to show you ocean breathing. I want to say thank you for you being with me here today on the 3rd episode of the Abundant Health Podcast, and I look forward to meeting you back here again next week. Until then, may you experience abundant health.